All right, welcome back to the Rebooking the 90s podcast. This is episode 7. I think I screwed that up last episode, so it's episode 7 now, and this is going to be week 4 of TV, the final week before our second pay-per-view. I am one of your hosts, Brady Malibu, aka Brady Roberts, and I'm here, as always, with the punk hunk, the weirdo hero, Ravenous Randy Myers.
That is me, darling. How are you, friend?
Doing great, man, and you are a little under the weather.
I am, yeah. I got the plague.
Got the black plague. We can hear it in your voice.
Totally got bit by a zombie or like a flying, one of those little giant mosquitoes or something like that with malaria. I'm not sure where I got it, but I have been down with the plague for the last 4 days.
I hear there is a global pandemic. I don't know if you heard about this.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard something about like Umbrella Labs or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Umbrella Corp. Are they involved?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, zombies and yeah. No, I don't watch the news. I try to stay away from that. I get all my news from old YouTube news channels. Mostly, yeah, I like watching the CFCN news from the 1990s in Calgary. There's some great stuff on there,
Wow. Incredible. Well, I'm glad you're here. This guy, he's persevering, even not feeling great. He wasn't going to miss an episode of Rebooking the 90s. We got big pay-per-views coming up. So I know you got a big card tonight. I got a huge card. So we're pretty much going to dive right into this.
Let's do this.
I am going to start this week. So like I said, last week leading up to the pay-per-view. So kick back, get some popcorn, take a listen, and let's do this. So this is week 4 of TV, like I said. Of course, Breakout, my show. We are starting with it's 25 minutes of pyro this week. No commercial breaks.
Excellent. Are there any specific colors? Like, is it color themed or?
I mean, I think with 25 minutes, you're going to get a bit of everything.
I hope so. But you never know, you could really do all magenta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Just 25 minutes of magenta. I mean, again, I'm not a fireworks expert, but I imagine if I had to do a 25-minute fireworks show, that would be quite an ordeal.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, no, for sure. And I'm sure people are just on the edge of their seats. People love the pyro.
Yeah. So the announcers run down the card. We've got of course, this number 1 contender fatal four-way for the heavyweight championship title match at Rumble in the Bronx. We're going to be talking about the 20-man Rumble coming up. We've got an Intercontinental title match, Eddie Guerrero defending against Crush from the Heenan family. And of course, our big street fight. This one's been brewing. It's Bam Bam Bigelow and the Ultimo Dragon in a street fight tonight. So we actually start off after the Pyro show with the Fatal 4-Way, one of our main events tonight.
Wow.
To determine the number 1 contender. So Too Cold Scorpio makes his way to the ring, accompanied by his friends, the High Flyers, Rob Van Dam and Sabu. Ric Flair makes his way to the ring, the Nature Boy with the Heenan family. The British Bulldog heads to the ring. The crowd goes wild for the Bulldog, a fan favorite. And of course, finally, the glass breaks and Stone Cold Steve Austin's music hits for the Fatal 4-Way. But his music is playing. The Rattlesnake, his music is playing. And it's playing and it's playing and it's playing, and he's nowhere to be found. And we cut to the back, and Jim Cornette, he's running down the hallway with a cameraman, and we find Austin, and he's laid out by the gorilla position. He's laid out on the floor. He's covered in steel beams. Someone has jumped Austin. Austin's unconscious on the floor. Officials run over. They're checking on him. Cornette, he's freaking out. He says, we promised the Fatal 4-Way tonight for the number 1 contendership. We need a 4th man to fill Austin's spot. I don't know who jumped him. I mean, I can make some assumptions here, but we need a 4th man. And he's looking around, and there's Disco Inferno is standing there.
No.
And Cornette's going, oh, God, okay. He keeps looking around, and there's no one else around. A tumbleweed rolls by. Just everyone is in catering or something. It must be on the other side of the building. And Cornette says, fine. Okay, Disco, you're in. Disco's ecstatic. And he runs out. He makes his way to the ring.
For those that have been listening, Disco's been wanting this shot. He's been wanting a shot at the title for a long time. That's what he's been gunning for. And here,
absolutely,
Disco gets that shot.
He gets a shot just by being backstage at the right time.
It shows you right place, right time. Because we've known a lot of people who have made it a lot of places just by being in the right place at the right time. And that's why we've never made it anywhere. We've always been in the wrong place.
And, Disco could be a suspect for the man that jumped Austin. Because if you remember last week, Austin threw Disco Inferno through the door of Jim Cornette's office and stomped him a bit. So
he does have motive. Yeah, no,
he's
for
got
sure.
motive, and he wants a title shot. So double motive.
100%.
So the bell rings. The British Bulldog immediately backdrops Disco Inferno to the floor. Scorpio spin kicks Ric Flair, and he powders out as well. So we got a babyface face-off here with Scorpio and the Bulldog. Very exciting technical bout. Yeah, great. Two amazing workers. Back and forth series of quick pins. Nobody can get the advantage. Scorpio goes to hit the ropes, but Ric Flair, he pulls the rope down, and Scorpio falls to the floor. Bulldog runs at Flair, but he gets a poke in the eye from the dirtiest player in the game. Flair, he gets back in. He chop blocks the Bulldog's leg. Flair's going for the figure four, but Bulldog, he just powers out and kicks him off with those huge quads that once gave you a pile driver, as we talked about in an earlier episode. Flair, he runs back at him, but Bulldog just picks him up. Power slam. Going for the power slam. Bobby Heenan gets up on the apron. He actually pulls Ric Flair's foot, and he slides off the Bulldog's back. The ref runs over to yell at Heenan. The Bulldog's yelling at him. Ric Flair, he low blows the Bulldog.
Ooh.
But Scorpio charges at Flair. He hits a crossbody. He knocks both of them over the top rope. Disco Inferno slides in. Rolls up the Bulldog. 1, 2. Kick out. Oh, my God. Disco almost stole the number one contendership. Scorpio hits a springboard off the top, drop kicks Disco. Disco gets knocked out to the floor. Scorpio pulls Bulldog over to the corner. He goes to the top. He goes for the 450 splash. Bulldog moves. Scorpio hits face first. Bulldog jumps over him with a cradle. 1, 2, 3. The British Bulldog, the number one contender, the man who has already defeated Shawn Michaels in one-on-one competition. Bulldog and the Scorpio, they shake hands. Scorpio raises Bulldog's hand, and Bulldog is the new number one contender for the pay-per-view this Sunday. And backstage, HBK is watching on a monitor. He's got the world title over his shoulder. He is not looking happy. Doc Hendricks walks up to get a comment, and HBK just storms off. He's pissed.
Yeah, that's not going to be something that HBK wants, especially because he's been only beat, I think, by Bulldog so far in this run of
exactly.
So that's the last person he's going to want to see at the pay-per-view.
Exactly. He's got his number. Okay, we're back in Ted Dibiase's locker room, and Dibiase is yelling at TL Hopper, who, of course, lost the six-man tag for them last week. And he says he's taken money out of his pay for the installation of the champagne fountain for losing that match last week.
Those two things have nothing in common, though. That's not fair. Like, he's doing a job. He's still doing a fantastic job with the golden toilet, with the champagne fountain. Like, has nothing to do with his wrestling ability.
These rich guys, man, they'll dock your pay for whatever they want. And TL Hopper apparently is not in some kind of plumbing/wrestling union of some kind.
They will let you start one.
Yeah, we should. So Cornette walks in. He says, Dibiase, we're really hoping for a tag team title match at the Rumble in the Bronx. I know you have it in your contract and you get to choose your first title defense, but we're really hoping that you can do that for the big pay-per-view this Sunday. Dibiase says, you know what? We will defend the tag team titles at the Rumble in the Bronx. No problem. We'll do that. And we'll get to choose our opponents, of course, based on my contract. So I'm going to team up with IRS. We're going to defend the tag team titles against TL Hopper and a partner of his choosing. But TL, he's such a loser. There's no way he's going to be able to find a partner. And Dibiase and IRS, they walk off. TL walks out. He's looking sad. And Goldust is standing outside the locker room.
I'm looking for a partner.
He's standing there with a cup against the door. He was listening in on the conversation. A golden cup. And Goldust says, I hear you're looking for a tag team partner. What a coincidence. Me too. And TL and Goldust walk off together.
Love it. Goldust has been looking for a partner for a while, has had some not so much luck with other people in the past. This could be the one, you know?
Look at all these long-term storylines just coming together here.
It's all working out.
Eddie Guerrero makes his way to the ring. Signature lowrider. It is it's orange. It's Orange Beautiful. Crush. It's sponsored by Orange Crush once again. Yeah.
Excellent.
The crowd goes wild. Crush makes his way out with the Heenan family. Another big feud that's been going on in the last few weeks. Eddie just
over the Orange Crush. Is he mad about the color of the car?
No, he's happy about it.
Okay, so Crush is fine.
Is Crush mad about it? Yeah, Crush is mad about it. This is like mind games.
Okay, yeah, no, totally. He's getting in his head, right? That's my color.
Eddie's happy about it. Eddie gets some kind of a sponsorship fee or something. So Crush versus Eddie, big man versus little man match. Crush is, of course, throwing Eddie around. Eddie just keeps trying to fire up, but he gets shut down by the big man. Crush picks him up, hits him with a big sidewalk slam. Crush heads to the second rope. He's looking at that big fist. You know, he used to do that heart punch.
Yes.
He dives off the second rope for the flying fist drop, but Eddie moves. Crush, he hurts his hand in the process, punches the mat. Eddie gets up, he starts mounting a big comeback. Drop kick, three amigos suplex. Eddie heads to the top rope for the frog splash, but he sees Curt Hennig and Ric Flair on the floor, and they're scheming. And before they can do anything, he jumps off the top rope for a big cross body to them on the floor.
Beautiful.
He takes out the Heenan family before they can try to screw him over. Bobby Heenan, he's livid. He's taking his jacket off. He rips his tie off. He throws his tie on the floor. Bobby Heenan's gonna go at it. But Eddie kind of gives him a look, and Bobby Heenan runs away. He cowers away. So Crush heads out to the floor to grab Eddie, but Eddie spins him around, throws him into the ring post. Eddie picks up Bobby Heenan's tie off the floor, and he ties Crush's feet to the ring post. Crush is dazed from being thrown headfirst to the post. Crush, he's slowly coming to. The ref is counting 6, 7, 8. Crush starts trying to untie the tie. Eddie slides back in 9 and 10, and Crush is counted out, being tied to the ring post by Bobby Heenan's tie. So Eddie, once again, he outsmarts the Heenan family. He's celebrating in the ring with the belt when Ric Flair slides in, and a big low blow on Eddie Guerrero. Curt Hennig, he picks him up, hits the perfect plex. The Heenan family, they get back in, they just start stomping Eddie Guerrero once again. The numbers game catches up to him. They're embarrassed. This is unbelievable. So we're backstage in the parking lot, and Doc Hendricks is with the loose cannon, Brian Pillman. He has shown up. He's in the building.
We get some answers from Pillman.
Pillman's got a pipe in his hand, and he's laughing, and he says, yeah, Doc Hendricks, it was me that took out Austin earlier in the night. Cost him another title opportunity. So Pillman says, look, everybody's waiting for me to wrestle. Everybody's waiting for me to fight, especially Stone Cold Steve Austin. And if he wants to fight me, I'll see him Sunday, because I am going to enter myself into the 20-man Rumble this Sunday.
Wow.
And I'm going to steal another title opportunity from Steve Austin. And Pillman, he gets into his 1973 El Camino, and he speeds off.
Beautiful.
Into the sunset.
Man, the pyro and the car budget you've got for this show.
Another new car. Yeah.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
Doink the Clown makes his way to the ring. He's got his bag of weapons. He's taken on Salvatore Sincere. If you remember, they got into it backstage last week. Salvatore, he charges out to the ring. He's angry. He slides in. They start going at it. Doink jumped him last week. Doink takes control. He clotheslines Salvatore out of his boots. He body slams him. He heads to the top rope. He jumps off with a big butt drop onto the chest. Then he grabs him in the stump puller. Remember that move?
Yep,
Remember that move? He's the stump puller, and Salvatore submits. Doink grabs his bag of weapons. He pulls out the prosthetic leg. He starts hitting Salvatore with the leg. The ref, he's trying to get Doink to stop when Bruiser Brody's music hits.
Oh, no.
And he runs out to the ring. He's swinging his chain. Doink, he powders out. He's scared. Brody picks up Salvatore. He hits him with the pile driver. Doink is cowering up the ramp. Brody's pointing at him. And both of these men will be in the 20-man Rumble at the pay-per-view.
You got to think that Rumble has got Brody's name written all over it. Like, I mean,
unbelievable.
He's a force, unlike anyone else on the roster, right?
Yeah. We're going to talk more about this Rumble, but it's getting stacked here. Backstage, Doc Hendricks is with the Disco Inferno, who is once again not happy with what's going on here. This is a conspiracy against him.
Clearly.
Disco has a piece of paper. He says he's sick of losing. He's looking forward to another chance at the title, this 20-man Rumble at the pay-per-view. But he's also looking around the locker room, and he's looking at all these great teams, and he says, you know, he needs to form a stable of his own. That's what the Disco Inferno is missing. It's a stable. And no pun intended, he needs to go back to what brought him to the dance. So starting next week, he will be holding auditions for his very own dance crew.
Ooh.
So the piece of paper, he hangs it on the wall. It's a sign-up sheet for auditions.
Amazing.
Disco's dance crew, which will need a name of some kind.
That's fantastic. Is it going to be like an American Idol audition process, or
Exactly.
Is it? Yeah, wonderful.
Exactly. Back in the ring, very exciting tag team match. High Impact, Chris Jericho and Edge against Hayabusa and Jushin Liger. Very, very exciting. Lots of fast-paced, quick covers, reversals, some dives. Okay, 2 babyface tag teams. Liger hits a springboard drop kick on Edge, gets a 2 count. Jericho grabs Liger, throws him over the top, and then Jericho's dumped over the top by Hayabusa. Hayabusa hits the ropes. He hits a twisting splash over the top rope onto Jericho, but in the process, he twists his knee.
Ooh.
And he's down on the floor, and officials, they run out checking on him. Liger slides back in the ring, but he's hit by a spear by Edge. Jericho hits the lion salt. 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Jericho and Edge, they head out to the floor, and they help Hayabusa up, and they help him walk to the back as true sportsmen. So Hayabusa tweaking his knee, but Jericho and Edge continuing their dominance of the tag team division.
Wow. Yeah, no, I'm sorry for Hayabusa. His knee had to take a brunt of that match, but that fan's got to have a hell of a contest there. So,
sure. And Edge and Jericho remain undefeated.
Totally moving their way up, young, hot babyface tag team.
And another man who's undefeated, Eddie Guerrero, storms into Jim Cornette's office with the Intercontinental title, and he's livid. He says that the Heenan family, they keep attacking him. Even though he keeps beating them, they keep attacking him. And he says, okay, I said I'd be a fighting champion. I'll show you what a real fighting champion is. At the Rumble in the Bronx, I'm going to fight all 3 members of the Heenan family, and I'll defend the Intercontinental title.
Wow.
Cornette says, okay, all right, let's do it. We're going to do a gauntlet match. You get all 3 members of the Heenan family, one by one, and if any of them can defeat you, they will be the new Intercontinental champion.
Geez, that's like the stacking the odds against Eddie there. Like, he's beat the dirtiest players in the game every time they've come at him with everything they've had to throw at him, but still taking them all on it, like in gauntlet match, one consecutive after another. It's not, I don't know.
He's crazy. And like I said, Eddie's undefeated, but can anybody beat the entire Heenan family in one night? You're talking Ric Flair, Kurt Hennig, Crush. These are serious players.
And you're going to have Bobby out there as well. So it's not like you're only taking on 3 men. You're also taking on a 4th man.
You got to have eyes in the back of your head, the side of your head.
Yeah.
All over your head.
Everywhere. Yeah. You're going to need to install new eyes every single orifice possible.
We're back in the parking lot. British Bulldog, he's got his bag. He's heading towards his car. Doc Hendricks walks up. He wants some comments from the #1 contender. And Bulldog says he's already defeated Shawn once, and he's looking forward to taking the world title at the Rumble in the Bronx. And all of a sudden, he's jumped by HBK. HBK slams the Bulldog's head into the hood of his car. He's going for the super kick. Bulldog catches the foot, spins him around. He picks him up in an overhead press slam and throws HBK face first onto the hood of the car. And HBK's laying on the ground. Bulldog picks up the world title that HBK had, and he just stares at the world title. And we cut to commercial break.
Wow.
HBK, he's trying to get one up on the Bulldog, and he just can't do it. Bulldog's in his head. All right. Surfer Sting makes his way to the ring. The crowd goes nuts. Surfer Sting, he's still not clapping hands. Okay. There's some psychological warfare going on here.
Yeah,
lights go out. Yep. The lights go out. Fire comes up on the entrance, and Gangrel and Mortis make their way to the ring. We got a huge singles match. Sting battling Gangrel. Sting is a house of fire. He's got a lot of pent up emotions here. He gets distracted by Mortis. Gangrel cuts him off, beats him up for a minute. Gangrel picks him up for that Impaler DDT. Sting spins out, shoots Gangrel into the corner. Big Stinger splash. Sting grabs Gangrel from behind, drops him with the Scorpion Death Drop, and locks on the Scorpion Death Lock. The sharpshooter. That's a mouthful. Gangrel taps out, slides outside the ring. Sting grabs a microphone. He demands that the Warrior show his face and fight him one-on-one at the Rumble in the Bronx, the former tag team partners. And the lights go out on cue. The lights come back on. It's been 15 seconds.
Oh, geez.
Sting, long time. Sting is laying in the middle of the ring. He's covered in blood. The bloodbath. And over top of him stands Gangrel, Mortis, the Warrior, and the hooded man assumed to be the higher power. Warrior turns towards the camera. He has black and white face paint and gear on. Warrior picks up the microphone. He announces that thanks to the higher power, he is no longer the Ultimate Warrior. He is now the Dark Warrior, and he will see Sting at the Rumble in the Bronx, one-on-one. Wow.
That's exciting.
Warrior,
that's what we're waiting for weeks to see payoff. And
exactly.
Come to a head.
The Warrior is back. He's on the dark side, and he's with the mysterious higher power, of course, along with Gangrel and Mortis.
We're used to such a colorful warrior too, that this new warrior, the black and the white warrior, what is this going to bring? Like, what kind of unleashing ultimate power they were saying? Take it to his full potential. What is this full potential that he was talking about?
And I want to be clear, the warrior has not gone blackface. Okay. He has black and white Ultimate Warrior designed face paint. Okay.
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Just for those listeners that
like a Kiss, like almost like a Kiss inspired.
Yeah. Like Crow, Sting, or Kiss. Cool, Gene Simmons. Okay. Backstage, we're in the doctor's office. Doc Hendricks walks in, and Steve Austin is in there. His head's all taped up after the attack earlier. The doctors are working on him. Austin says he heard what Pillman said, and he will be in the 20-man Rumble, and he's gunning for the loose cannon because Payback is a bitch. So, last two segments here, the announcers run down the card for the pay-per-view. On the pre-show, if Hayabusa is able to compete, we've got a big tag team match. It's Hayabusa and Liger in action in a tag team match. On the pay-per-view, we have the Intercontinental title, Eddie Guerrero defending in a gauntlet match, Ric Flair, Crush, and Kurt Hennig, the Heenan family. We have Sting versus the Dark Warrior, finally, one-on-one. Tag team titles on the line. Ted DiBiase and IRS defend against Goldust and TL Hopper. Now, Goldust and TL Hopper, neither man has won a single match. And Ted DiBiase and IRS have been strong.
This could be the match. This could be the partner that Goldust has been looking for, you know?
Exactly. Goldust has been trying to find a partner since our very first show. Shawn Michaels defends the World Heavyweight title against Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog, big grudge match. And of course, the 20-man Rumble, the main event for the #1 contender at Worlds Collide, 20-man Rumble, and it's stacked. Bam Bam Bigelow, the Ultimo Dragon, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Brian Pillman, Edge and Jericho, Rob Van Dam and Sabu, Bruiser Brody, Doink the Clown, amongst others. It is a huge 20-man Rumble, Too Cold Scorpion.
You've got tag teams in there. You've got some big men in there. You've got some debut matches, I'd imagine, in there, like debuting superstars, maybe some surprises. Who knows?
Huge. Okay, main event time. It's a street fight. The Ultimo Dragon, this thing's been brewing for weeks, again, since our very first show when the Ultimo Dragon defeated Bam Bam Bigelow and upset him. And of course, it broke down in the main event of our last pay-per-view, Clash of the Champions. So Ultimo makes his way to the ring by himself. Hayabusa, of course, being treated by the doctors. And Ultimo has told Liger to stay in the back. This is a personal battle. Bam Bam makes his way to the ring. He's got a trash can full of weapons. And these guys, they start brawling. Ultimo, again, he takes that kendo stick. He starts hitting Bam Bam with it. Bam Bam bails to the floor. Ultimo hits the Acai moonsault off the second rope. They fight into the crowd through the stands. They're hitting each other with garbage cans and chairs. Bam Bam picks up Ultimo. He body slams him on the floor, grabs him by the head. He throws him back over the guardrail. He pulls out a table from under the ring. Ooh. Bam Bam setting the table up ringside. He turns around and Ultimo sprays the fire extinguisher in the eyes of Bam Bam Bigelow. Very 1999 fire extinguisher.
Very much so, yeah. Very much so not caring about what was inside of those things.
Right. The long-term effects of breathing that stuff in. He throws Bam Bam into the guardrail and it just explodes in half. Bam Bam just kind of does like a flip dive through the guardrail and it just explodes. Ultimo climbs up on another guardrail. He grabs a chair and he hits an Acai moonsault off the guardrail, holding the chair onto Bam Bam Bigelow. But he only gets a 2 count. This is false count anywhere. Bam Bam pushes Ultimo. He hits the ring post back first. And then he cracks him over the head with a steel chair. Ooh. Hard chair shot to the head of Ultimo. Ultimo didn't even get his hands up. Okay, another bad 90s trope.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully that mask is padded.
Mm-hmm. So Bam Bam starts ripping Ultimo's mask off. Ultimo starts fighting back. Bam Bam's power is just too much. He picks him up. He slams him back first against the ring post. Ultimo's all messed up from the chair shot. Bam Bam lays him across the table. He climbs up to the top rope, and he hits a moonsault off the top through the table on the floor, destroying the Ultimo Dragon. He covers him 1, 2, and 3. Bam Bam Bigelow, dominant going into the Rumble. He stands tall over his rival. Ultimo's bleeding from the face from the chair shot. Liger and the officials, they run out to help Ultimo up. And the announcers, of course, they're talking about how both these men are going to be in the Rumble. And outruns the entire locker room. It's Doink the Clown. It's Bruiser Brody. It's Van Dam. It's Sabu. Everybody runs out. They all start brawling in the ring. And we fade to black as just a sea of men from this 20-man Rumble are brawling in the ring at the end of this show. A wild scene. And we're looking forward to this Sunday for a massive pay-per-view. Last stop before Worlds collide as we fade to black.
Amazing. That's how you sell a pay-per-view. That's how you sell a 20-man battle royal, is by seeing all those competitors in the ring.
When I originally wrote the script for this episode, it just ended with Bam Bam beating Ultimo. And then I just thought, that was kind of a downer because it was a heel victory in this big street fight. And then I thought, we get this Rumble. Listen, there's the best part when you're a kid is like the Raw before Royal Rumble, and everybody they just always do that big brawl in the ring, and you're like, wow, I need to order that pay-per-view.
Exactly.
That's all these guys fighting. Yeah.
It's basically like that last moment is the commercial for the pay-per-view, or that like final thing. Like, do I need to buy it or not? And the last moment is the deciding factor,
And it's like if you're ending the show on a heel victory, it kind of, the people are down here, and then you bring them back up with one last little 20-man brawl in the ring, and then and that's it.
That's just it. Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Huge part for the pay-per-view. All right, man. I'm stoked to hear your show. I know DLo Brown and Booker T could potentially be going at it tonight, right?
That's just
there was a challenge. There was a challenge laid out.
DLo Brown did accept the challenge last week because the paranoid thoughts were getting in his head. Booker T had wormed his way into the wormwood that is DLo Brown's skull, and had convinced him that he should give him up that title shot. So we will see if that will be coming tonight. We also had Raven and Piper having some war of words last week, and we had left where Piper had locked Raven out of the building and walked into the president's office. So that's where we leave off. That's where we left off last week. This week starts off. We are coming to you from the Brooks Elks Lodge, which is actually quite a nice venue. Can seat about 150 if you're pushing it, you know what I mean? But has
is it that big? I don't remember it being that big. Wow.
Yeah, well, they've extended it now. They did some renovations on it, and they really opened up the cantina. They have a lovely woman, Sue, who serves the hot dogs there. Beautiful, beautiful. So we're starting out there.
And sorry, can I just ask before you start, how are the hot dogs?
The hot dogs are, you can tell that they're not the best quality. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's love put into the hot dogs. Sue puts her love into the hot dogs, but
sure.
So it's more
it's like a Costco sort of big, like a 200 pack of hot dogs or something. She's boiling them in the back of the cantina.
100%. You remember when we'd see that gigantic pot of boiled hot dogs at the end of the show, and there'd be like, you could either like get your pay or maybe take 5 of those hot dogs home with you.
Sure, take them home. Yeah, I actually did get paid my very first match for Monster Pro Wrestling in Edmonton. I was like 15 years old, and I was paid with a hot dog and a can of Coke.
Wow, that's perfect. See,
which is actually more than what some people made for their first matches.
No, definitely. I think my first pay was it was a can of Alberta Genuine Draft, and I think I was like 17. So it was awesome. I kept that beer for a long time, actually. I don't know whatever happened to it, but yeah. Anyways, let's start the show off. We start off with Roddy Piper standing in the ring, standing in the middle of the ring, saying he has put the birds out to roost, and then after some negotiation and a padlock, he is now in charge. And it's time that we all take off our sunglasses and see the champion, DLo Brown, for who he really is. Tonight, and then says tonight, he's tired of all the running. He's tired of all the games being played. Tonight, DLo Brown will be facing Booker T in the middle of the ring for our main event with that title on the line. And that whoever wins that match will be going into our pay-per-view this Sunday, Smash Distribution.
Smaster.
Smasterbution. I didn't realize when I wrote it out, it sounded kind of dirty, but yeah, Smasterbution as our champion. All right. So our first segment starts off. Our first starts off with China calling out Rick Rude into the ring, saying that she loves where they're going romantically. She's enjoyed their dates. She'd like to see where they could go that way, but as a tag team, it's not working out. That she's got gold on her mind, and that every time that they work together, something comes up, and that she wants to build something more than just a tag team, but she also has to put her career first. So she needs to put her time away with Rick Rude as a tag team, and maybe see him just on the side as a lover or a partner or whatever, maybe like a poker partner. So as she walks out, Rick Rude looks a little heartbroken. She says he understands. China makes her way to the back, says she's going to focus on the world title. As she does, though, Rick Rude gets a smirk on his face. As soon as China turns her back, he rips off his gear, which has had China's face on it, to reveal Miss Elizabeth on his tights. We haven't seen her yet. Out from the entranceway walks Miss Elizabeth. She goes face to face with China, and she holds up her hand and she just blows powder right into China's face. Starts attacking China. Rick Rude comes from behind, kind of puts his hands up, and just lets Miss Elizabeth go at her with one of her high heel stiletto shoes. So Rick Rude's going to hold China. Elizabeth's got the shoe in her hand and just levels her out, lays China out. Rick Rude obviously wasn't one looking for a romantic relationship, was wanting a tag team partner, or maybe once wasn't what he wanted to hear from China that night. But clearly, he had something in the works beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Dastardly.
Right? Yeah, he had these tights on underneath. He knew something was up. If China hadn't broke up with him, he probably would have ended things with her.
Yep.
Next, we have Tajiri and Rey Mysterio versus the Hardy Boys. Nice high-flying match. The Hardy Boys, you remember, are in alignment with the Flat Earthers, but this time they were showing no forms of brainwash. They're hitting things cleanly, the poetry in motion. They're hitting, the whisper in the wind. Everything's hitting cleanly, smoothly. Tajiri and Rey Mysterio are also doing their stuff as perfectly, and their match goes off without a flaw. Halfway, the Tajiri and Rey Mysterio have the upper hand. Boom, boom, boom. Out come the Flat Earthers. They distract Rey Mysterio and Tajiri from behind. The Hardy Boys take advantage. Nut shots. Roll them up. Roll up Tajiri. Hold the tights. 1, 2, 3. They all come into the ring. The Flat Earthers versus and the Hardys versus Tajiri and Rey. The number game can't keep them up. Rey and Tajiri get the beat down. They really focus on Tajiri, take him completely out. Boom, they're hitting him with the Alabama Slam. They're hitting him with the Swanton Bomb, the Twist of Fate, the big spinning spine buster, all while Rey's just there, helpless, can't do anything about it. The Flat Earthers say, Rey, we're good men. We're going to give you a title shot at the pay-per-view. If you can find another masked man, we'll take on you. Because we don't believe that you guys need those masks to be here wrestling right now. So if you, Rey, we know Tajiri won't be in action. If you can find another partner, it'll be Rey Mysterio will get the tag team titles on the line. But if he loses, he will lose his mask.
Ooh.
So it's the Flat Earthers and Rey Mysterio and a partner of his choosing for the tag team titles. But if Rey loses, he loses his mask this Sunday at Smasterbution.
Smasterbution, wow. Mask versus titles. I like it.
Yeah, right? After that, we have the match the fans have all been waiting for, the title that the fans have all been waiting for. It's our Hot Sauce Championship match. Mm-hmm. Kane is coming out. He's got 4 new flavors of hot sauce, ranging from mild to extremely burn your tonsils off hot. So he brings out his contenders for tonight's hot sauce eating contest. We've got, where are we here? we've got Luna Vachon, we've got Muta, and we've got the Big Show.
Wow.
Or the Giant. So they're all coming out. They're all sitting in the ring. They've got it set up. There's a table in the ring. There's 3 chairs. Behind that is Kane. He's got a Kiss the Chef apron on.
Yep.
One of those big. He's still wearing the full Kane getup, but he's also got the chef's hat on. And he's got in front of him, he's got some tofu wings because, not everyone necessarily is going to eat meat. Sure. And then he's also got the meat wings. So each one of them take the first one. Boom. Mild. They all easily pass that. Nothing. Big Show says, you know what? I'm not even worried about the second round. Not worried about the third round. I'm going to the 4th round right away. He goes to the hottest sauce right away. He takes the biggest hit of that. Boom. Nothing. Doesn't even face him. Luna takes it. She says, their voice sounds exactly the same. She's like, this hasn't done anything to me. I don't see what's wrong with this. This hot sauce seems fine. Kane seems a little bit disappointed. Muta takes it. Instantly does the spit right into Kane's face. Kane takes it in the eyes. Tastes the sauce. Boom. Levels Muta. At that point, Big Show and Luna exit the ring. Kane starts just taking it to Muta, says, like, he's got the hot sauce in his eyes. It's burning. Kane's been burnt all over. He's never been burnt in his eyes. He's never been hurt the way that Muta's just hurt him by disrespecting his sauce in the middle of the ring. So Kane picks up Muta, chokeslam, pile driver, looks over at the table, covers it in the hot sauce, picks up Muta for one more chokeslam, boom, puts Muta through the hot sauce covered table, says, you know what, at this pay-per-view, Muta, if you think you can do better than me, you make your hot sauce and I'll make mine, and we will have a hot sauce taste test. So this Sunday we're gonna have a hot sauce taste test. Kane, his best hot sauce versus Muta's best hot sauce, with Luna and Big Show as our referees.
So last pay-per-view, you had a book review and a date.
Yep.
And this pay-per-view, you have a hot sauce taste test. I love it. I've also never seen anyone go through a table covered in hot sauce.
That would hurt, right? That would suck.
That would sting. Yeah, for sure.
No. Yeah. I remember one time there was a show that I was doing for, it was like Latin Days or something like that. I don't know whether that's culturally appropriate that I should have been on it. But anyways, that's beside the point. They were serving hot dogs with hot sauce on tacos, and I went and got my hand covered in hot sauce and then was chopping people the whole day. And yeah, I don't think people were happy with me.
How did your hand feel?
That's my only wrestling hot sauce story, though. Anyways,
how did your hand feel after that?
It hurt for sure. It wasn't a smart idea, but I think people kind of thought it was funny. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't get rebooked, so I don't know whether they liked it. Yeah, there you go. Next, we have the match that you preempted to. We've had this feud brewing for weeks. Lance Storm versus Mick Foley. Mm-hmm. Finally, tonight, we have Cactus Jack versus Lance Storm. Mick Foley had left the option for Lance to pick any of Mick Foley's alter egos, and he went with choosing Mick Foley as the dad and sent him home, and Cactus had seen enough, so he's coming out to get revenge this week. It is not a no disqualification match, but Cactus comes out with that barbed wire bat. He comes out with a sack full of thumbtacks. He lays the thumbtacks out in the ring. He's swirling around that barbed wire bat. Lance comes out looking like he's here for an athletic contest. He wants none of it. Foley chases him down the ramp, out of the building, says, Lance, if you're not going to face me in this ring right now, why don't we face each other this Saturday or this Sunday in a hardcore match? Mm-hmm. Lance says, you know what? I don't want it to come to this, but I will face you in a hardcore match. But that's not just the only stipulation. If I win, you never get to write a stupid book again. Ooh. So he will be taking away Mick Foley's literary career if he doesn't win this match, this hardcore match. So Mick Foley might be the king of the hardcore, but it could be taking away something that brings him much joy if he loses this match. So Lance has something. He's put something at stake here for Foley as well.
Wow.
So this pay-per-view, it's shaping up at this point.
It's shaping up. It's looking good.
Now at this point, we have match fans have been waiting for a long time. Maybe the most awesome president of all time versus the most awesome Mike of all time. Mike Awesome versus Abraham Lincoln. We have Mike Awesome makes his way to the ring. Very big, steps over the top rope. Abraham Lincoln makes his way to the ring. Very tall as well. Still without his stovepipe hat. But, you know, seems to be moving past that. Seems to be more focused this week. Steps over the top rope. They start doing your classic big man spots. Tackle, nobody bumps. Doing the test of strength. Bumping chests. You know, until finally it breaks out into a brawl. They'll start giving each other the big slobber knockers. One for one. Eventually, Mike Awesome throws Abe Lincoln into the corner, goes for that big splash. Abe Lincoln moves out of the way. Awesome eats it. Boom. Abe Lincoln comes in with a big drop kick. Sends Mike Awesome crashing down to his ass. Abe Lincoln sees the opportunity. Should he? Shouldn't he? He does. He goes in with that big flying Bronco Buster. Abe Lincoln's giving the big Bronco Buster to Mike Awesome. Mike Awesome comes out. Abe Lincoln's clearly having a lot more fun than normal tonight. Abe Lincoln hits the big head scissors into the Russian leg sweep for a 2 count. 1, 2, boom. Bats Mike Awesome into the corner. Abe Lincoln's hitting those 10 punches in the corner. Boom. Goes for the big one. Mike Awesome slips underneath, catches him in the Awesome Bomb.
Ooh.
Boom! Big power bomb out of the corner. 1, 2. Abe kicks out at the last second. No one can believe it. The fans have not seen anyone kick out of the Awesome Bomb yet. It's destroyed everyone that it's seen so far. Yet our hero, Abe Lincoln, finds the power to manage to kick out. Abe Lincoln still wary from the first power bomb. Gets picked up for a second Awesome Bomb. Boom! Switches that into like the flipping. Sunset flip, big sunset flip. 1, 2, 3. Abe Lincoln squeaks a win out over Mike Awesome. Mike Awesome spazzes, kicking the rope, grabs the referee, power bombs him. Abe Lincoln slides out, runs to the back, victorious. Abe Lincoln still winning.
So Abe Lincoln he needed to start having a little more fun.
Exactly. That's it.
That's what he was missing. Yeah.
He was missing, like, that was it. He's seen these opportunities in the past to have fun, and he hasn't taken them, and that's what's cost him every single time.
Great. I wasn't expecting the Bronco Buster to be a part of Abe Lincoln's repertoire, but I appreciate it.
I think even Abe Lincoln wasn't expecting that, You know what I mean? And I think that's what Abe Lincoln can take him to the top, is like not putting himself into a box. We need to remember this, that we're not just one thing or another. We can be everything, and the more broad and the more aspects of us we can bring out in the ring, the more successful we'll be. And I think that's what Abe's seeing right here, right now. All right, now we're going into our main event, which is Booker T versus DLo Brown. DLo Brown, I forgot to mention, is also, again, being the champion he's been giving things out every week. Bobbleheads, brown t-shirts. This week, he is giving out snack packs. DLo Brown brand snack packs. They are butterscotch flavor on the top, and then they've got a layer of chocolate in them underneath. So delicious. Everyone's happy with them. This time the fans are very excited. Brown t-shirts, not so much a hit. Snack packs, so over.
Candy, absolutely. Yeah,
totally, right? So Booker T comes out. He looks like he's got his eyes set on that ring. He doesn't look no nonsense. Shakes a couple hands on the way in. No spinneroonie off the top, though. He's no nonsense Booker. Out comes DLo, looking scared, looking a little paranoid, looking over his shoulder the whole time. Still is like maybe not got as much sleep as he should. Still has like Booker T in his head from last week, trying to cause that paranoia, and it shook at DLo Brown. He hasn't felt like the champion ever since. Booker T they go in there, they start going at it. Booker T's clearly in control, hitting his big hip tosses, hitting drop kicks, hitting everything every which way. DLo Brown cannot take a break in this match. Finally, Booker T looks like he's mounting, like it looks like he's taking it home, sets up for that axe kick. DLo Brown drops to his knees. Looks at DLo, looks at Booker, says, "Look, Booker, you beat me. You beat me mentally. Now you've beaten me physically, and I don't know whether I could take much more of this. Booker says, you know what, I didn't mean to put you through this. I understand that you're not in a good place. I understand that with becoming the championship has a lot of responsibilities attached, and that those have gotten to you, and maybe tonight's not your night. Maybe tonight I will give you a break, and a time to rest as champion. DLo says, I appreciate that. Booker turns around. DLo hits him with the low blow, turns around, sky high, goes to the top rope, puts on that chest protector, hits his chest, boom, big frog splash onto Booker T. And 1, 2, 3, DLo is still our champion going into the pay-per-view, playing the mind games, playing the game, trying to getting on Booker T's soft side. And we go into the pay-per-view, Smashtribution, with our champion, two-time champion, still being DLo Brown. We've got ourselves the Hot Sauce Challenge. We've got ourselves Lance Storm versus Cactus Jack. Cactus Jack's Mick Foley's literary career on the line in a hardcore match. We're going to see what happens between Miss Elizabeth, Rick Rude, and China, and that love triangle all coming to a head this Sunday at Smashtribution.
Wow. And does DLo Brown have an opponent? Is he defending the title of the pay-per-view, or is that an unknown?
I think the rule is that the title will always be defended at the pay-per-views. So we will be going in there. There will be possibly a new championship. You've got to wonder where the Harts and the Dudleys were. Last time we saw the Harts and the Dudleys, the Harts carrying the Dudleys out of Lethbridge, out of that electric barn, in the dumpster, slowly but surely up those stairs and out of the building. Will we see them back at the pay-per-view this Sunday?
That was going to be my next question. Where was the Hart family this week? So that's a big question mark too. Okay, wow.
Totally. Maybe they're taking, they said they were taking out the trash. We haven't seen them since they put the Dudleys into the dumpster. Maybe they're taking them out somewhere to pasture. Who knows?
Wow. And no Raven this week. Is he in the cemetery or what?
Yeah, that's just it. Raven's been quiet all week. It's kind of makes you wonder whether, again, does Roddy Piper have full control of this? Is Raven buying time to get till the pay-per-view, till maybe he can strike another blow? Maybe he's building up a faction to come back at Piper. I don't think we've seen the end of that feud either.
The psychological warfare with Raven and Piper.